Hi everyone, welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV. My name is Nina and welcome to a brand new episode of Round the Corner, the show where I look ahead to Chelsea's next fixture, what we can expect, who might play, and in this case it's Chelsea vs Wolves on Sunday. It's going to be a difficult game, I think, and particularly interesting to see how Chelsea bounce back from a midweek defeat at Anfield against Liverpool. A tough one to take. It sparked a lot of conversation about the players, about management, about Pochettino, about the ownership in general, and we definitely just do need a result. I think if we lose to Wolves, things are going to turn sour. It's really not looking good in terms of how we are headed, because we've got some tough reverse fixtures coming up, so it's safe to say that results are going to be necessary. Maybe, yeah, Anfield was too tough. We saw that we lacked quality. We saw that in terms of systems and squad depth and quality and affinities with manager, we are so worlds apart. But Wolves are, you could say, on our level in terms of league position. We're basically battling it out for 10th place. So hopefully we could get something out of this one. But judging by the game that they played against Manchester United, which was obviously a 4-3, it was a 7-goal thriller, there was a lot of goals, there was a lot of build-up in that game, a lot of intensity. You can see that Wolves do absolutely have what it takes to score goals. You know, Neto looked really dangerous on that wing as well, and if we let him, you know, roam free on that left-hand side, then he could potentially be causing some danger towards us. So it really has to be we have to be on top of it defensively, guys. Like I said, we almost looked like we couldn't offer anything defensively. We've been preaching that last season we at least have had structure at the back, but now it just seems like it's nowhere near as good as it should be. So, I mean, let's talk about the previous fixture against Wolves, because that was not too long ago. It was a very horrible, tough day to take because it was Christmas Eve, and a lot of the fans did go up to travel all the way to Wolves to watch us lose 2-1 in a, again, very disappointing game where we just didn't finish our chances. Nkunku, poor boy, similar way to Liverpool, he scored in a game where a goal didn't matter, unfortunately. So we couldn't even celebrate his contribution and his impact that he makes on this team. Hopefully he's not going to be let down on Sunday, because after waiting so long to get his game time, to get back into the squad, he deserves to be able to enjoy it, and when he does score, he deserves to be able to celebrate. So hopefully his teammates can actually live up to what they need to do. But let's talk a little bit about the lineup, because Armando Broja, of course, we know has now gone off on loan to Fulham. So we are now left with Jackson as our only out-and-out number 9. But we have seen in previous games that Pochettino would like to experiment with Cole Palmer in that false 9 position, which I personally am not a big fan of. I think it wastes his creativity. I think he himself doesn't look like he believes in himself. He almost always overthinks it too much, and it's just a wasted potential of a creative player. Equally, that being said, though, I wouldn't favour starting Nkunku there as a false 9, because I just think he can bring so much more to our attack if he does play as number 10. I'd like to see him there. Palmer can play on the wing, so I'm not worried about that. But obviously, this choice in formation calls for someone like Gallagher to be dropped, and I don't think Poch is going to drop Gallagher unless he's miraculously somehow just not in the squad, which again I just don't believe is going to happen. Obviously, the whole news about him going potentially on deadline day has sort of died down now, so it seems that he is staying, but again, it would just be interesting to see what Pochettino does. I think Enzo and Caicedo, again, will be starting. I think they are under scrutiny now, and a lot of fans have really just placed them in the spotlight, and every decision they make, every interception that doesn't come through, or every tackle they make that isn't quite right, or every ball they pass that's just not received by a teammate of theirs is going to be talked about, dwelled, and it's just not going to be good for their confidence. So they have a lot of proving to do, and they have a lot of integration to do. I don't think they've been terrible midfielders. I think they've got a lot of talent, but it's just not at the top quality right now that we need, essentially. But again, I would just like to see Nkunku in the 10. Let me know what you guys think, but I just honestly think that in a game against Wolves where they could potentially sit back, but they can also give us a game, it's good to have someone like Nkunku who can be a creator. And we can see that when he is given the space, he can sort of, not even when he's given the space, he can work his own way out of the tight spaces to get a shot off, and that is so welcome. We need that. I know Pochettino is going to start Sterling. Regardless of what performances he puts on, he will start Sterling. And I think Jackson is going to come straight back into the lineup too, because obviously Broja's gone. He did come on as a substitute. Frankly, it did nothing for us against Liverpool on Wednesday. So I think Jackson will start. Obviously, Pochettino did prefer him. He was a number one as opposed to Broja was when he came back to full fitness. So Jackson again is someone that we're still waiting for, that sort of unlocked moment where he will flourish, he'll score goals. Yes, he's had a few numbers, but we still do need more, and we're going to expect now more than ever. You know, Broja was given the chance in Jackson's absence, and I think we can all agree in unison that it just hasn't quite proven right. Maybe he goes away and develops and becomes a player. Maybe he bags himself goals for Fulham. And you know what, guys? I'd be happy for him. I think there is a player in Broja. I just think that it's not necessarily ready to be a consistent sort of top level week in, week out performance for him. But who am I to say when Chelsea are literally mid-table? But you know what I mean. But all the best to him. I hope, honestly, that this loan is successful. I do think he will get the game time. And at the end of the day, that's exactly what you want from a loan. But yeah, guys, I think Jackson's going to be given the opportunity. And I hope he's hungry. I hope he's really just missed coming back to Chelsea, because it looks like for the time being, he's going to be our only striker. At least until summer, he is all we have. So let's see what happens. But obviously, I've started front to back. We know that Petrovic is going to start. For me, it's no if, buts or maybes. Even though he conceded 4 goals, Petrovic has looked incredible, guys. He truly, himself, stopped it from being 7, 8 or 9 against Liverpool. It's not often that you can praise a goalkeeper for conceding 4 goals, but considering how good he was, and even against Villa, for me, he was the one that we should celebrate, because he's the one that ensured the replay with his brilliant saves. He is under a lot of just for me, absolutely hands down, has been so incredible. Really just lost my words there trying to praise him, but you get what I mean, guys. So I think he absolutely should build on that. He deserves it. He's proved that he can, and he's not done anything that has made me really question him or want Sanchez straight back into the lineup. So I'm very perfectly happy with Petrovic, and he's a leader as well, guys. He's so vocal, he speaks to the team, and that is exactly what we need as well. But again, I think he could be tested against Wolves. They've got a lot of pace up front. They can punish us if they want to. We've seen in the last games that they can score goals. They obviously beat us at Christmas Eve, so they're going to come into this game feeling quite confident, and they themselves are going to want results, because they almost literally walked away with a point from Man United after they were 3-1 down. So, you know, they're going to have some confidence and some self-esteem. Our back line, guys, is where it gets a little bit interesting. I think nobody can really say they had a good game against Liverpool. It was a collective performance that was poor from our defensive line. Ben Chilwell, I'm not too sure what was happening there with him, but he must start, because he's a left back, guys, and because, you know, we aren't exactly spoiled for choice. We've basically now seen that it's so important to have fullbacks that can, you know, perform and thrive in their position in the Premier League. Benjamin Chilwell maybe has had some time. I don't know why I just called him Benjamin Chilwell. Ben Chilwell has had a tough time in the last game, but hopefully, again, he can bounce back. He's meant to be one of our more senior players, and that's now welcome more than ever. So Chilwell, if you want to redeem yourself, mate, this is going to be the game. But then the centre-back pairing is interesting, guys, because obviously I think Malo Gusto is going to start, and this is finally a game where we see 2 full-backs in their natural position. We can see what we can get out of this game. So for me, Malo Gusto starts. Again, one of the brighter substitutions against Liverpool. He set up Mudryk with a perfect assist, but Mudryk just skied it, you know, into the bloody sky. So our centre-back pairing for me is probably most likely going to be either Thiago Silva and Badiashile, or Disasi and Badiashile. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I don't think either of them really deserves to be rewarded with a start after those performances. But again, they're young and they're going to learn, and we're not exactly spoiled for much choice. I don't think Levi Colwell's still available for selection, so I think that's what we're going to go with. But yeah, guys, I think we're going to have to come out with some structure. Pochettino needs to implement some tactics for this one, because freestyle isn't going to cut it anymore. But yeah, I think these games from now on are going to be crucial to tell us basically how we're going to do in the league. But it's basically the fight for 10th place tomorrow against Wolves. So we will see what happens. But anyways, guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to Chelsea Fan TV if you haven't done so already. Also, check out the other content that's on the channel. Check out my personal channel, Nina's Chelsea Corner, and I'll see you in the next one. Up the Chelsea.